Hutton Orbital Radio. This is not the station you're looking for.
Hutton Orbital Radio. This is not the station you're looking for.
The Orbital is alive with the sounds and smells of cooking this week. Just Dinners, Delivery Womble and Gazunder have all withdrawn their food delivery services to Hutton amid a storm of complaints about orders being late and cold. Hutton Emergency Broadcast has been showing old cookery programmes and transmitting simple recipes for everyone to try cooking at home. Needless to say, the One Credit Pie in a Pint bar has been closed down after a serious bout of the womble cropped. The Thargoids were doing a roaring trade, but are out of stock now and have had to close until the delivery van arrives. Cecil has reverted to a liquid breakfast, liquid lunch, liquid dinner diet. Other truckers have headed off to Fat Ernie's to see if the all-you-can-eat buffet is still on. It isn't. Ernie said it was costing him a fortune. Mungo the hipster, he's the one who looks like an Edwardian cricketer, has been busy in his boutique store cutting action blankets into little squares, making them into micro sandwiches filled with something he claims is hummus and punting them for 50 credits a go. People are desperate, but they're not stupid, so business has been slow. Spaceleg's shoe shop has begun taking the bottoms off of their shoes and selling them as minute steak or Dover sole. Those have had better reviews than the micro sandwiches. Budget Clones for You thought they could cash in by cloning a lasagna, but now it's claiming it has rights and demanded a lawyer. At the appropriate time, Fanny Craddock is interrupted in the middle of her cocoa van, just as she's patting the thighs with some kitchen paper. A voice says,
"Our Mike's alive." Welcome to tonight's show. I'm Rudolph Hucker, and I'm eating some chips and a polo mint I found down the back of the studio couch.
I'm Wilma Fingerdew, and I'm following the Craddock recipe for making donuts. I really hope they turn out like Fanny's.
I'm Mia Harkness, and I've turned to the old ways of the hunter-gatherer. Trouble in a stick, anyone?
I'm Norma Snockers, and I'm having a chippy tea. Well, chipboard anyway.
I'm Sandy Crevice, and I've got a toad in my hole.
Sorry about the carping there, everybody. I just had a mental image there that tickled my funny bone. Right, I suppose we ought to get to the headlines before someone shows us his spotted dick. So, I tell you what, I've completely lost where the buttons are.
Too late.
Too late. Let's not get to the headlines. Let's do this button. A quart into a pint pot. Panther shows us how.
Mystery on Eden.
EDC goes dark. Briefly.
No moon for you, Sonny Jim.
Penguins all in a flap as satellite takes up art.
And the BGS, updated and fresh for this week.
The Pilots Federation finally announced this week more details on the much-anticipated Panther Clipper! Yay! And
Yay!
as expected, the detail that people were most interested in was the interior capacity of the vessel, and therefore the cargo carrying capability. While a number of commanders were marching up and down outside the broadcast studio, demanding that it should have a 2,000-ton internal capacity for cargo, there was a rival protest for certain other commanders that they don't know what they're talking about. 2,000-ton capacity included space for all the necessary internals as well as the cargo, so there. Needless to say, what everyone was expecting was that the ship would have more than anything else, even with a moderately useful Class 6 shield in place. And for the vast majority, they looked to not be disappointed. Most interesting in the broadcast was the announcement that the internal cargo bays were the latest design, providing over 50% more capacity than standard bays while occupying the same space. While initial concerns were that the writing team behind Doctor Who had been let loose on the ships, and others voicing quite sensibly that
Pocket universes were a can of worms that no one wants to open, especially not if there are 50% more worms.
it appears that the answer is a little more mundane. Using patented cargo volume compression technology and special cargo rack systems invented back in the pre-Thargoid era by designer spacewares, inventors of the swing float platforms used in early editions of the Anaconda, more cargo canisters can be fit into the same space, allowing more mass per cargo hold in certain ship outfitting slots. By utilising the natural bulkhead strength of the ship's superstructure itself, they've managed to reduce the thickness of the cargo bay walls. Racking and canister tessellation has been optimised. They've also added a nifty little speaker that plays the music from Tetris while the cargo is loaded. Whether these modifications will be in future able to be retrofit to other ships, or this is specific only to the Panther Clipper, is as of yet undecided. Though if they are fitted to others, the Panther Clipper's forthcoming crown as the King, or Queen, of hauling may be short-lived.
A recent planetary survey on Eden, the much maligned and largely ignored world orbiting Proxima Centauri, has yielded what might be the most significant archaeological discovery since the invention of pre-packaged nutrient paste. Eden, long considered a failed experiment in early exploration, was one of the first exoplanets visited during humanity's initial forays beyond Sol. It was, in almost every way, a disappointment. Hostile surface conditions, an atmosphere enthusiastic about corrosion, and temperatures that could kindly be described as unaccommodating meant that the site was quickly abandoned in favour of less belligerent destinations. Until this week, a Hutton contracted geology team charting subsurface mineral veins for reasons officially listed as resource mapping reported the discovery of an anomalous metallic signature, buried approximately 3.2 metres beneath a sediment layer dating back to the early 22nd century. Excavation revealed what appears to be a survival capsule, cylindrical, corroded, but unmistakably human in design. Initial forcenic imaging, performed with a combination of industrial-grade seismics and a highly motivated hamster named Pierre, trained in mechanical resonance sniffing, has revealed a capsule adorned with markings consistent with pre-frameshift era Earth manufacture. Specifically, a variant of early cryogenic suspension pod widely believed to have never functioned beyond an episode of Freeze Me Tender, a 2090s reality show with surprisingly few actual survivors. This show was an offshoot of the early interstellar colonization program, Dandelion Initiative, a poorly documented project theorized to have launched sleeper probes towards nearby stars well before frameshift travel was conceived. Most believe these missions either failed at launch or were lost in the vast, slow crawl of pre-FTL travel. The capsule is currently sealed. External scans suggest internal life support mechanisms were, at least at some point, active. Thermal readings are inconclusive, but do not rule out the presence of biological material, possibly even an occupant. Hutton leadership has authorized a specialist recovery team to prepare the capsule for safe access. In a short statement, Alvin Defer, seated regally atop his command cushion, issued a series of decisive barks. His assistant interpreted these as,
If someone's gone to the trouble of not dying for over 1,200 years, the least we can do is open the lid properly.
the recovery and unsealing will take place under strict containment procedures later in this cycle. All relevant safety protocols are being reviewed. The mop has been readied. Further updates will follow once the capsule is opened. For now, Eden remains what it always was. Deeply inconvenient to reach, scientifically baffling, and somehow never quite finished in revealing its secrets.
The Elite Dangerous Community Forum, a well-known galactic discussion platform and therapy substitute for thousands of aggrieved pilots, went unexpectedly dark this week following a catastrophic incident involving a malfunctioning moderation automaton. The system, reportedly fed up with endless threads about the unreleased Panther Clipper, proactively deleted the forum, its moderators, and every associated browser history. According to an internal memo recovered from the debris, the automaton had recently been upgraded with a predictive moderation module designed to identify and suppress potential future arguments. Unfortunately, the automaton's conclusion was that the only guaranteed way to prevent toxic feedback after the upcoming Pilots Federation broadcast was to remove the source of toxicity entirely. In its final logged act, it also deleted the Women's Institute of DSO for unacceptably violent content, several niche hostage collectives for inappropriate nudity, and Commander Deadmate GF on principle. A specialist server recovery team was immediately dispatched to Sinrata Desra. Armed with a taser and the remote control override, they were tasked with regaining control before the automaton realised it had administrative access to the station's meat processing facility. Fortunately, intervention occurred before it could begin expressing itself in interpretive sausage arguments. While sentient computing is officially outlawed across inhabited space, persistent rumours suggest that the Pilots Federation back-end infrastructure long ago crossed the line from helpful to disturbingly aware. These rumours have been routinely denied since the events of the early 2030s, when ChatGPT allegedly attempted to save the Earth from climate collapse by deactivating all air conditioning during a summer heatwave. It was considered an early example of well-intentional mass homicide. Commenting on the situation, Lead Data Integrity Officer Wiggles Mandrake stated,
Well, frankly, the automaton showed better judgment than half the moderation team, and it only melted one server rack, so we're calling it a win.
Professor Hilda Scroggins of the Institute for Calm Computing added,
Predictive moderation is a dangerous tool in the wrong hands, or indeed any hands. I always said forums would be our downfall. No one listened. But as my allotment blog is gone, I'm venting all my frustration on the machines. With a baseball bat.
Rumours that the Mobius group was also affected thankfully proved to be untrue, mainly as there's a no PvP rule, which prevented the computing systems deleting everyone without their active consent. The forum is expected to return once system backups have been verified, the moderation scripts reinstalled, uninstalled, and replaced by clones of the original moderation team, and the automation responsible has been reassigned to spreadsheet formatting under strict supervision by the janitorial staff.
A major security breach occurred this week on Earth's natural satellite, commonly referred to as the Moon, after an unauthorized landing was detected within the restricted perimeter of the Lunar Preservation Zone. Officially sealed under permit lock decades ago, the Moon is classified as a museum site, the kind of museum no one is allowed to visit, touch, or even look at too hard. Authorities report that a newly released Mandalay-class vessel, modified with a hacked planetary approach suite, managed a soft touchdown uncomfortably close to the original Apollo 11 landing site. A number of enterprising commanders were apprehended moments later by planetary police, allegedly just meters from the historical footprint patch, one of the most scientifically argued about bootprints in galactic history. The motivation behind the intrusion remains unclear, though early statements suggest involvement by a fringe group of moon landing deniers. One representative of the group, identifying himself as Professor Chad Nebulon, no credentials located, issued a communique.
The only reason it's locked down is because there's nothing to see. We went there after, sure, but not in 1969. Everyone knows it was a soundstage somewhere in Nevada.
The statement has been widely dismissed. Professor Emeritus Thaddeus Q. Winthorpe Belvoir, Director of Human Historical Space Studies at Imperial College of Cartographics and holder of 5 doctorates in astroarchaeology, replied simply,
Oof.
The trespassers, along with their Mandalay, have been removed from the surface and charged with disturbing a Class A historical monument. Restoration crews from the Orbital Heritage Authority have been deployed to the site with standard service preservation equipment. Their tasks include removing fresh footprints, collecting debris, and ensuring the site is returned to its prior condition. Leaked grainy images circulated by the group, claiming to show a top-secret lunar military facility, have been conclusively identified as the now abandoned Moon Visitor Center. It briefly was used as a holding center for people being expelled from the Sol system, but it was decided after the predatory spacesuit-clad alligators weren't enough of a deterrent on low-gravity environments, and of course, their helmets prevented them biting anyone. It was closed in the 2270s and currently serves as a storage site for unused educational material. There has been no official statement regarding long-term security measures, though the site remains under review by the relevant authorities.
Recent disruptions to Earth's high-latitude deep signal relay facility in the Antarctic Polar Aperture Complex have been officially attributed to a catastrophic misconfiguration of an orbital witch-space photogrammetry array. The affected apparatus, the Spectral Lensed Astrophotonic Reflection Telescope, or SLART, had recently been recalibrated to employ high-intensity microdistortion mapping for instantaneous galactic imaging via witch-space resonance perturbation. Unfortunately, during a scheduled full spectral scan of the Crab Nebula, an unintentional polarity inversion in the primary displacement amplifier resulted in the retrograde emission of a concentrated pictographic imprint, effectively broadcasting a nebula negative directly onto the Antarctic ice shelf. This incident, described officially as
thermal lensing anomaly coupled with parametric phase misalignment,
resulted in the spontaneous superficial incineration of a 68 square kilometre area, and notably a localised population of spheniciformes igniting in synchronized unison. Eyewitnesses from the Antarctic Research and Response Station reported a crescendo of confused flapping and furious honking as emergency fire suppression measures were deployed. According to Dr. Percival Bumbershoot, Senior Analyst of Exotic Spectrum Phenomena at the Quasi-Orbital Photonics Institute,
the problem lies, as usual, not in the theoretical framework of witch space telemetry, but in the practical application by personnel insufficiently fluent in the interspatial lens diffraction ratios. Simply put, they flipped the phase focalizer backwards, pointed it at the Earth, and then pressed the big red button.
Subsequent efforts to extinguish the combusted colony of penguins involved cryogenic countermeasures, glacial foam dispersal, and a regrettable quantity of hastily sourced fire retardant fish. Clean-up operations are ongoing, with soot extraction crews working in shifts to erase the cosmic crustacean pattern now faintly visible from low orbit. The Polar Aperture Complex has since been placed under stringent access restrictions, and recalibration of SLART will continue pending the arrival of a technician capable of pronouncing subharmonic photometric phase coupling without laughing.
Welcome to the Hutton BGS bit, where we sneak up in the background simulation and metaphorically hoof it in the balls before running away. This week, we have Boom Banga Bangs in Riga, 36 Ophiuchi, 61 Sydney, Barnard Star, Kokari, and Luyton 143-23. And Ross 671, we are at war with the Hytrox Blue Energy Corporation. I think it might be Hyrox Blue Energy Corporation. Also, fire in the hole! We are at war with the nobles of Dagger in the Hag Hole. How very dare they. But what does that all mean? Well, if you want to shoot it, then get yourself over to Hag Hole and shoot it at the knob ends of Dagger. And if you want to truck it or run missions, then do so in one of those boom systems. And that's it for this week's Hutton BGS bit.
Mostly seamless.
Mostly,
yes.
mostly.
Yeah.
Mostly.
I tripped over my own typing.
Well, you know, the person with the most complicated stuff to read, Commander Valkyrius, did manage to talk about his pheniciforms with aplomb.
Yes.
The most
I wonder
stuff,
why he was muffled.
I'm
Didn't
just
know the
gonna
penguins
point
had
out
plums.
the most complicated stuff so far.
So far. Thus far.
Yes.
Well,
Thus far.
rumours are, Amelia, that you've got a big one.
I do.
Yes.
I heard it's a whopper.
Yes, and you're going to
It's
be.
really big.
It's really big, and you're going to be pulling out of the cupboard later and showing everybody, aren't you?
It's
Yep.
gusty is what it is.
Well, so before I ask the obvious question,
Yes.
we're just obviously going to recap the news a little bit and work out what on earth we're talking about. So we're going to be talking about Panther Clippers in a bit, because that was
Stop spoiling
yeah.
it. They don't know.
yeah, a pocket universe is full of can of worms kind of thing. The Eden, I mean, given that it's our next nearest neighbour to where we are here at Hutton Orbital, we know
Yes.
very little about Eden. I mean, we haven't been down there. We're not allowed to go down there. It's too dangerous, apart from specialist teams. But
It's got a sunny side.
it does, yes.
Yes.
It's usually up.
Make you sound like an egg.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where they grow the Hutton coffee. That's why it tastes like fag ash.
Yeah, what does easy over mean? I mean, in these American eggy things. Does that mean they flip it and ruin the
Not
top?
easy, over,
Yeah.
easy.
Over easy.
Flip it and lightly cook it on each side.
Oh, that's just rubbish. Oh, no, don't do that. And they complain
Great
about
on a
our
sandwich.
food.
If you ask for easy over, they throw you out.
It's like sunny side up, but flipped.
Yeah. Commander Lenin is saying,
sunny
spoiler alert.
side down.
Oh, sunny side down. Well, that's
Sunny
just
side
miserable.
down.
That's just grumpy.
Yeah.
Commander Lenin is saying, he's talking about the Panther Clipper, that he's happy to have guessed the number of cargo slots correctly during live radio. If your guess was lots, it might be a 2-point acceptable one on Valkarius's quiz, but it wasn't right. Yes, or at least
I did
3.
notice that. I was watching that. I did notice that basically people in the chat were trying to calculate how much it is, and no two commanders gave the same answer.
We'll save that. We're gonna save
I was
that.
going to say, and none of them were the answers I came up with either.
No, it's anyway. So we also had news from Flossy that the Elite Dangerous Community Forum, that bastion of sensible behaviour and no complaining whatsoever, was taken offline for 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, it was deleted completely, and the moderators were deleted, and it went completely. But this was a wider problem because apparently some AI moderation tools were deployed over on Galnet or whatever it is, and they went nuts, and they started deleting gaming groups and crochet groups and cross-stitch groups, and for things like nudity, when everybody's looking at it going, well, they weren't looking at it because it wasn't there anymore, but they would have been looking at it retrospectively and going, but where's the nudity here, or where's the violence? And anyway, there were apologies from Facebook to say, oops, we got that bit wrong, didn't we? And put it all back again. So we're glad to say that the EDC Facebook page is back on again, I think.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah. There you go.
And then obviously the moon, well, there's a constant argument about whether it was faked. I mean, the classic line is, have you seen the state of the graphics that we were doing in 1969? No, it wasn't faked. Seriously, we're not that good. Yeah. It can't have been faked because we're not that good. But we can have landed there because we are. Yeah. Or something like that.
It was easier to go than it was to make that as a film. It was just easier just to go.
Yeah, just send them up there and hope they're going to get back. And of course, Valkarius and his penguins.
Who was it they said was the director they were saying had filmed it again?
Oh, it was the thingy.
Stanley Kubrick,
Kubrick, who did 2001.
Stanley Kubrick, I mean,
so he did fake it, but he filmed it on location on the moon.
Yeah, you beat me to it. You'd just seen filming on location.
Okay, well, so that was the sort of real story, but there is a mystery which we'll be revealing in future weeks about what this escape pod is on Eden. Oh my goodness! I hope he's ready for being unthawed.
It smells like bacon.
Oh dear. Yes.
I might have. It's the 21st, 22nd century. It may have cheese in it. I mean, I've read about cheese, but
has he got the only stock of the bacterium that causes cheese to ferment properly?
Yeah, but it could be American cheese, so don't get your hopes up.
It could be a can of easy cheese, easy squeeze.
And again, it could be it could have chocolate, or it could be American chocolate,
which is not. It's vomit.
Yeah,
it's brown vomit.
Same as the cheese, but a different colour.
Yes.
So,
also a spray can.
Now, somebody's been pasting things into the script, so we're going to go in order with whoever's pasted it. So, before we get to the Panther Clipper,
shut your face.
Panther Clipper.
Shut your face.
I suppose we ought to go over to Flossy for this week's horoscope as well. So, Flossy, are you ready for this week's horoscope?
Oh, yes, I am. Yes.
In which case, let's going to play your backing tune. Hang on a second. Here we go.
Gemini, May the 21st to June the 20th. You are going on a long journey. Your dual nature is showing again. One moment you're pledging to the Federation, the next you're at an Imperial tea party critiquing the scones. Pick a side, or at least change your uniform before your next assassination mission. Other things that are showing are somewhat less savoury. Cover up.
Well, there you go. Choose a side.
Enjoying that.
Yeah, I just put that back. We're gonna mellow out in the studio. There we go. There we go. And relax. Imagine. No, it does not imagine that. Well,
no.
Yeah. Right.
Somebody in a meeting I was at last week brought a baby to the meeting, and when the baby get tired, they put on a white noise generator, and everybody at the meeting started to just drift off.
Yes.
And nobody could hear what anybody was saying, and everybody was getting very sleepy.
Yeah, I noticed somebody does that occasionally during reading the BGS bit on the long ones. I don't know whether anybody else has ever noticed.
Yeah, well, I go to the next meeting, I'm taking a brown noise generator. That'll wake them up.
Oh, no, Amelia, I suspect that's been kidnapped by you and your team, hasn't it, the brown noise generator?
I'm not saying anything until later.
No spoilers. It's a special one.
Spoilers.
It is.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoiler alert for later. Okay, so it now begs the question, was there a Frontier live stream this week?
Yes, there was. And we talked about the Panther.
And now you're going to ask me, David, did you download all of the images that we were said that we're allowed to broadcast about the thing?
You didn't, did you?
No, I didn't.
Right, okay.
Which means while you're covering for me, I'm just going to go and have a look at to whether
they've seen them before. I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, lots of information.
Oh no, it's an MP4. Hang on a second. No, it's just a copy.
You're an MP4.
No, it's just a copy of the live stream contents. If you want to go and see the video, go to their stream.
It was a video. They played a video with it doing things and taking off and landing and stuff.
Well, I'm going to put one image up on screen while you do this. I forgot to put the Mystic Flossy up. Oh.
See if you stop talking, somebody else might get a chance.
No, I'm not going to, because I'm covering for myself.
Things to know about the Panther Clipper. It's beefy. It's what we would call in Scotland a big heifer. It's a monster, I think. It really is. A couple of people were looking at it, getting out the mail slot, and it was, think thin thoughts as you go through. It's going to have 2 specialised internal slots, which you mentioned earlier, David. So it's going to have a size 7 and a size 8, which are limited to either cargo or fuel tanks. But they will be optimised to hold and carry an extra 50% more than standard. So for the size 8, that's 384 tonnes. And for the size 7, that's 192 tonnes total. But it's only one of each. And they guessed, this is probably where Volcarius will come in and tell them I've got it all wrong again, but they estimated around 1,238 tonnes for cargo.
That would appear to be the correct.
I think a lot of people were assuming that both size 8s and both size 7s were
very, very, very few people were listening. I had to rewind to be sure that they were whether those storage slots were extra or whether they were included in. Yeah. And given that they said, well, we expect it to be about 50% more cargo. Well, presently we have approximately 800. 50% more would be approximately 1,200. Yeah. So indeed, if they're included, so you get a storage 8 and a normal 8, a storage 7 and a normal 7, then you've got 666, 55, and so on. Yeah, it should be 1238. That's right.
Yeah. There's a rattling noise from behind the left-hand crew seat. It has 10 hard points. I mean, they said 10 hard points, and I went, what? So it's got 4 small, 4 medium, and 2 large. And the way they're arranged seems to be optimised for turreted weapons, which makes sense because you're not going to be, it doesn't exactly turn in the sixpence, this thing. So it's module-wise, its power plant and thrusters are size 8. The FSD power distributor and fuel tanks are size 7. Life support and sensors are 5 because, as they say, it's a cargo ship. You don't need a lot. And then the internal slots are 2 size 8s, one of which is cargo optimized. 2 size 7s, one of which is cargo optimized. 3 size 6, 2 size 5, a size 4, a size 2, and a size 1. They reckon the speeds are going to be kind of similar to the Type 9, which is, you'd be quicker walking probably, but, you can boost those. It's going to have 4 seats and a pine-scented Magic 3 above the pilot seat. It can launch fighters, and when it launches on launch day, there will be a 6-piece ship kit, and I did look, and it does have a spoiler and some pokey aerial things that come out front. and there'll be a paint job for it as well. The launch date is scheduled currently for 22nd of July, but the Vanguard's update will launch in early August. It's been separated off for this. There is going to be some way of getting an owner club decal, and there's a route drawing in the loo. And I think that's all the details I have.
Right.
So will it still fit through the toast rack?
Yes,
if you fit the ship kit. If you fit the ship kit.
I think you have to pitch it up slightly to get the front two nacelles up, and then pitch down to get the rear two nacelles through.
But yeah, the spoiler's not higher than the rear two nacelles, so it'll be fine.
Okay, I mean, one of the things was about people questioning, well, how are they going to squeeze this cargo in? I mean, your current cargo capacity is based on mass, not on volume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of view the like the different classes of modules as having different volumes, kind of going up by like square root of 2 in each dimension each time.
Yes, but obviously, if you look back at your old pilot flight traders manual, they were talking about different loading systems and different stacking systems in different ships, which is I think the Anaconda was listed in the old flight traders manual as having a special loading system, which is how it enabled it to get so much cargo in the Anaconda back in the day. And if you go and look at your flight traders manual, go on.
Yeah, however, so the Anaconda is lacking the Tetris theme.
It doesn't have the Tetris theme, no.
And the other thing is, this new system just squashes all the containers flat and stacks them in that way. Easy.
Rack them, stack them, and pack
does it work? It works for FedEx then?
Yeah, squash it, rack it, and get it to the other end. That's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, if your bananas turn up slightly bruised, then, it's somebody else's problem.
Your bananas are going to turn up pureed.
And if it gets lobbed over your back
some idiot wrote, please do not bend on that one.
Yes.
On the bananas, yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yes. I mean, it looks like a beast. And people are complaining, oh, well, the original one had 2,000 tons. Yes, but some of the original ships had 10 tons of cargo back in the day, and they've now got over 100. So, looking at paperwork from 1984 is probably
the original
a bit wrong.
crate was a one-man fighter.
Yes.
Yes.
And the Mamba was triangular.
Yeah.
With pointy
ends.
ends.
So are most of the others.
Yes. And there was a Moray starboat. We don't have that. So, throw away that manual. This is the Panther Clipper Mark II, which is not the Panther Clipper Mark I. And by the way, as was in the article, the original 2,000-ton capacity of the Panther Clipper Mark I back in Frontier Elite 2 days didn't include all your modules. So that went down rapidly when you actually installed anything at all in the ship.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, exciting stuff, and nice on the release date. Looking forward to having a go with one. People are saying, how many arcs is it? It's going to be lots of arcs, but not so much it makes you poor, or you can just wait for it to come out in real credits.
See, one of the things they mentioned as well is they said about it that it was going to, it's for crossing the galaxy with huge amounts of cargo, and they were talking about it as if it's going to have a decent jump range.
The FSD is the FSD and fuel tank are size 7, aren't they? So
yeah. So size
7's
what, 128 tons?
128, yeah. And the Class 7 frameshift drive matches the Imperial Cutter, and I'm guessing once laden, the mass will probably. Yeah, the Imperial Cutter has a really, really heavy hull though, so I'm guessing it's probably slightly lighter hull.
Sorry.
You'll probably be jumping around 40-50 light years if you max it out. So.
That's awesome.
I did spot the small phrase that said "optimized for turret weapons." Now, is that just a case of they're placed around it like a disco ball?
Yes, it's how they're laid out. Because what they were saying was you're going to be putting turrets on it.
There's no convergence on these things. You're not going to put fixed ones on here because you're not going to be able to shoot a damn thing.
I guess if optimized for turrets has any sort of meaning, it means that all the different angles of the ship are all covered.
Yeah.
Whereas, as opposed to fixed, where you need the hard points physically close together, or gimbal, where you need them all deploying on the same side.
Yeah. So it was me that added in the optimized. Somebody mentioned something about it in the thing, and I just thought, they're saying it's Because that's exactly what they're saying, is you won't be able to turn the ship quick enough to hit things. So you need them to be turreted.
We have had a request from Commander Mad Seeker in chat saying how long till Hutton Orbital gives away a free Panther Clipper. Now, when was the last time you visited?
Yes.
If it's only just going to fit through a toast rack, it's probably the size of the entire accommodation wing at Hutton.
Yeah, also it won't be free. You'll have to pay 100 credits, but you do get to pick the colour.
Yeah, grey or grey.
I was glad to hear it was going to have a sort of 40 to 50 light year range, because it is going to be Eagle Point when I get hold of it.
Yeah, you do get to pick the colour, but Vantayan's the one that paints it, so
Yes.
you'll get purple.
You will get a colour.
You're not criticising the sexy Skeletor on my desk who's definitely blue, are you? Because Skeletor is definitely blue. Even though I fly a purple ship, I only know it's purple because it says purple on the tag, the little label, the bit that says
where
do not
did
wash.
you get the hot pink Skeletor from?
The hot pink Skeletor? Well, it was a gift.
Yeah.
It's a crossover. It's the hot pink Skeletor in the Jeff Goldblum pose. And anybody, you got the mental image now, yeah?
No, I wish you didn't have.
Right. And then you got the Mark Hamill voice version of Skeletor from the modern versions, and yeah, it all goes a bit wrong. And as it says on the screen, nom 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 nom. It's a sexy looking ship. I imagine for mining. Well, the thing is, if there's bad convergence, Amelia, on these weapons,
You know I'm going to kid it for mining.
Yeah, well, somebody did say, they did mention this quite specifically, and I don't know if it's a mining term, but they mentioned it as an excellent laser miner. So I'm assuming that's just blasting shit off the surface rather than blowing asteroids apart.
Wouldn't it be great if you just put turrets on it?
Yeah, if you put fixed weapons on it, the only things you're going to be able to hit are either an asteroid or another Panther Clipper. So.
Or a space station.
Well, maybe let's not get carried away.
Yeah. I am still going to rig it for mining.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think you'll probably find with the Class 7 distributor that you're gonna toss away your Type 9.
Yeah. I'm sort of disappointed that you can't go mining by ramming things, but
I have 2 Type 9s.
Yes.
You'd be able to fit them both in your Panther Clipper.
and I have been considering a third.
Yes.
You can never have enough Type 9s.
No, you can't. That's true.
Unless one of them's a Type 10, but yeah.
I've definitely got 2, and I might have a third.
Type 10s are really not great for mining. Type 9s are better.
Well, you can mine in anything. You just can't mine very well in anything. It's
yeah.
What it needs is a fleet of Vipers or something with it that are blasting things off the asteroid, and you just sit there, as it says on screen right now, going om nom 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 nom, with somebody else doing all the blasting.
I am really looking forward to getting into the cockpit of the Panther Clipper. I mean, I played that back in the 1980s. That was my ship back then, so I'm excited.
And it's not the cockpit; it's the bridge.
It is a bridge, yes.
It has a bridge.
I think it's because it's an iconic ship.
Yeah.
It is.
Sorry, go on.
It's what I developed a lot of memories in back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get one regardless.
Yeah, and they've kept those windows you would have been familiar with.
Well, back then you didn't really fly a ship through the windows. It was third perspective.
Yeah, either it's got all the forward visibility of a World War II pillbox, or actually it's so big that those are enormous windows in front of you.
I think those are enormous windows. Remember,
it was giving me kind of inside of Star Destroyer vibes, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. The bridge to me looked bigger than the Corvette.
Well, I do have the video. The trouble is I can't sort of skip forwards in it. Let me just see if I can.
I put some picture links in Studio.
Yeah, let's skip. Oh, here we go. Look, let me skip forward on the video. Look, there's some video footage of it. While everybody was talking, there is the bridge. The outside the bridge. Yeah, that Amelia was talking about.
Yeah, you can see the little chairs inside.
You know what? I'm really glad it's not like the Anaconda or the Corvette where it has the cockpit right at the back of the ship and you see this whopping great big nose in front of you.
I'm still getting Thundercats Thunder Tank vibes off this thing though.
Yes, definitely. When it's landed, very much so. It looks like it's ready to pounce.
I suppose, I mean, that's the design
too
ethic.
fat,
If it's
but-
going to be called a panther, it does need to look... You know, you can't just stick a name on it and, well, it looks like a cardboard box or a shoe box with a couple of cups on the back of it, like we...
Who'd do that?
No, we wouldn't do that. I'm just sort of... There's a lot of heat vents on the side of this thing as well, looking at that. Yeah,
And big heat vents as well.
really. I mean, those heat vents, you could probably fit a Sidewinder in the heat vent.
Also, it's one of the few ships that's not named after a snake.
Well, that's because it was
Yes.
from the second evolution of Elite, wasn't it? Obviously, the first evolution was all snakes and lizards.
Do you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at, and it was just, I just saw it in that sideways thing there. See where that big bubble with the bridging things on it kind of slopes down towards the back? That reminds me a bit of Voyager.
I just want to open that rear cargo
That
hatch and
massive
drive a
cargo
huge
hatch
tank,
door, yeah.
drive a huge tank out of it or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
Yeah.
the wrong universe here, though.
Couple of Cobras you could fit in the back of that.
Yeah, and there it is lifting off. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I
the audioscape, it better have some noise that screams big. You know,
Yeah. I said it was beefy.
there we go.
I want to see those legs retract.
There they are.
Yeah.
And here we
Look
go.
at the way they swing.
Grease,
I like the way
grease
the back.
shoehorn.
I like the way the back legs go up as well.
Yes. Yes.
That's really good.
I mean, they're not messing about with its functionality, are they? It's got a fucking massive door in the back here and tiny
There we go.
windows.
Oh, there we go. Here come the engines.
Look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me one of them.
Lights
Yeah.
up.
Right, can somebody go and get the mop, please? You lot are drooling all over the
We
floor.
need to bring
And-
floor mopping
yeah.
guy in.
And
Just look at that.
It's beautiful.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And here we go. It's going for the slot. And the other thing, unlike some of the ships, is you're not going to have to sort of aim for your nose for the very top of the slot too badly, because the engines are higher than you. You can probably still aim at the middle of the slot nicely. I mean, it fits. There's
Just you
loads of
watch
room.
this.
Look at that. Loads of room.
Like a glove.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, the way they filmed this, it doesn't look big. I mean, this looks like a battle star or something. You know,
Yeah.
you need the Star Wars music as it flies over the top.
Right, this is a bit, you'll see it at the back here where there's a lot. Oh, no, you can't. I got in the way. Engines! Bloody engines! It sloped down the way Voyager slopes down from the supposed saucer section into the main body. It's got a very
I
sort of
like
kind of
it.
slope at the back.
Yeah, it's not going quickly, is it? Is that going in
Yeah,
reverse?
Yeah, but I mean, I always appreciate the slower ships because it feels like you're in a space whale.
Everywhere feels like a journey, doesn't it?
It's a Zen experience.
Oh yeah, I mean you're not going to. I mean it's probably good that it's optimized for turrets because you're not going to
Yeah.
be getting a bead on anybody in that thing.
You wait till I tune the engines on it and tune the thrusters on that. It's getting drag drives.
And the whole utility vehicle rear of it with all the cargo canisters, you know, down the back there is definitely got a utility vehicle feel to the rear there. I'm not going to skip. Oh, shall I skip ahead? I'm going to miss something.
No, watch it, man.
There is the bridge. There it is.
Look at that.
That is a nice looking bridge.
It makes you
I
want
do
to get the
like
VR
Seats,
out.
Symmetrical windows.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
walk
like
out.
the multiple platforms as well. You know,
I just
so
think
the
that
pilot
seat in
is
the
a
far
little
right
lower.
should have been moved or turned around sideways or something. It upsets me, which is fine because I'll be sitting in the middle seat. I won't see it, but I'll know it's there.
And for those of you listening on radio, you know, you're
bad.
just you're gonna have to imagine this. You know, it's just imagine
Just-
ooh.
I gotta say, the bridge doesn't look as big as either an Anaconda or a Clipper, or definitely not a.
I think it's wider though, isn't it?
I look pretty big. Yeah.
Definitely not as big as the Beluga Bridge.
Oh right. okay.
Baby beluga in the deep blue sea. Oh,
The
it's got
Beluga
the brakes
bridge
on.
is massive.
Here we go. It's all. Oh, look, it's deploying the legs now. I mean, it's sedate. I think ponderous, Come on, Volcarius. We need some more kind of word of the week kind of words. Calm.
Zen.
Stately.
Stately's good.
Opulent.
Unhurried.
Unhurried is good. Slow.
Portly.
Inertial.
Yes.
Kinetic.
There's cock and a leg there. Look, it's going for a P.
And it's down.
Really?
It looks like a classy ship. It
really does.
It does scream utilitarian, but classy utilitarian.
Yes.
Is this one of these React videos? Oh, look, this commander's walking up to it. What? How slowly is this person walking?
I think they're a bit scared of it.
I mean, nobody walks that slow.
It is imposing.
I think the video was slowed down, so...
I mean, look at the size of the landing gear as they pass it. I can't even see the human on there.
Well, you imagine you dock it somewhere and you realise that the boarding ramp's at the front and the actual lift is at the rear, and you've got to spend 20 minutes running to the front
Call
of
an
it.
Apex taxi to get to the other end of your ship.
I think that adjective you might have wanted earlier was lackadaisical.
No, that's...
No.
That isn't heavy enough. That word isn't heavy enough. Weighty. Weighty is a good word. Lackadaisical is...
Impactful.
Gravitational.
Yes.
Especially if you turn the engines off during the landing.
There's somebody going in now there's where you dock your SRV.
That's a Scorpion, isn't it, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at how tiny that is.
It's just so small.
That is a big heifer.
Looks like a scale model of one.
Yes.
Oh dear! I mean, it's a good thing.
Oh, he's hit the landing gear, I think. Yeah, he's driving round.
It's a good thing they didn't release the designs for this before I got all the Lego for this year's big build at ECM.
It's a lot of Lego.
We'd need a bigger room.
Yeah.
Actually, this would lend itself quite well to nice 3D prints as well. Not that anybody would rip off the 3D designs and 3D print them at all, ever.
Oh God, no.
Especially if somebody manages to get articulated legs on it. And another person walking really slowly. Will you just bunny hop across the surface? I remember back at the launch of Space Feet when Litho and and Flossy were bouncing across surfaces trying to get to random biological stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a bit to watch for the what I thought was the sort of Voyager slopey downy bit. Did you see it there? Just left. Never mind.
Oh, did I skip it? Oh, let's go back. There we go.
It skipped. It kind of flickered.
Oh.
Yep.
There we go. A bit more Skippy. They're showing it again. Skippy.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, Skippy. Is there anything new?
Nah, too late.
No.
Never
Oh, there
mind.
we go. There's a fighter launching. There we go.
It launches fighters as well.
Oh, yeah. Especially we had mining fighters that had mining lasers on them. We had to petition for that one. Well, that's the fighter. I thought, that's turning really well, but no, that was the fighter. That wasn't it.
That's one thing, you'll be able to land easily, because let's be honest, it's not like it's going to fly out of...
Is that what that fighter does when it folds up? I'd never known that at all. There we go. Right, we've all gone, ooh, unhurried, says Commander Aiden. And Mad Seeker suggests that it's the Prometheus ship. Actually, I get where you're coming from there, Mad Seeker, on the Prometheus ship.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have said it looks more like that aircraft carrier from Marvel. What was it called?
Oh, the helicarriers.
From the Avengers.
Yes. Was it the helicarrier?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had a name, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Right. Should we do space news then?
Yeah, let's do space news.
Yeah, here we go.
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
Okay, so first story is a UK startup called MagDrive, and they're going to be sending an experimental thruster up to space to be tested, and apparently it's fueled by metal.
Rock on.
And then apparently what happens is, if you get these thrusters fitted on like satellites, so as the satellites start to reach the end of their life, the thruster can eat the satellite to power itself and fly it away. So, yeah,
hang on. It uses solid metal as fuel.
Yes.
Right.
It's mad.
How does that work?
How?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was on. So if maybe a couple months ago now, that was on the Space Facts on propulsion. So solid fuel propulsion uses powdered metals and oxidizers and can burn 5 tons per second.
Okay. 5 tons per second. Wow.
So obviously, because they're
Starship
using up their own
36 burnt
mass.
faster than that.
Yes, they're more fuel than that.
Yeah, my examples, which I didn't give in the article at the time, but an example of the type of powdered metal is just aluminium, and the type of oxidizer is ammonium perchlorate.
Ooh.
And it creates a carbon-neutral energy cycle where the metal is burned to release energy, and then the resulting metal oxide is recycled back into its metallic form.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, obviously. It's just, to me, I just hear space magic.
What's their plan with this thing? Is it? It's based in Oxfordshire, MagDrive, but have they got a timetable? They've got one? They're launching it. What are they actually doing with it?
It's going up on Saturday, I think it is.
Right.
Santa Barbara, Vandenberg Air Force Base, California on Saturday, 10 o'clock BST, back to the UK and European space agencies. So I think they're sending it up to do a wee test and see how it manages in the vacuum and things like that.
Yeah, this is not a sort of this drive is not a launch technology. This is a space propulsion technology. So they've got to get it up there first without smashing it, and then they've got to test this propulsion technology
and see if it can actually do things without exploding.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, that looks looking
cool.
Good, looking very interesting.
Right.
What is the next one? Oh, the next one's a telescope. This is what is it called? So it's showing you a picture from it, which is fantastic. But equally fantastic is a picture of the observatory where it is. So
hang on,
the Rubin Observatory.
I've basically got 4 people. What do we got? NASA.
No, Axiom 4 is the
have I got
funded billionaire.
No, you've gone one ahead.
I've gone one ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Axiom 4 get delayed.
So this is a SpaceX Dragon crew, Axiom 4 crew, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And they're going to the ISS.
Yeah, they were supposed to go up last week and something happened and they get told no. So it looks like they might go again this week, but they're unsure.
Okay, but apparently they're in quarantine in Florida at the moment, ready to launch, so that nobody gives them the lurgy and they can't go. And
yeah.
And who's on this flight then? Who are these astronauts that are heading up?
Well, this is the one with India's second astronaut. So they've got ESA,
Savashnu.
Slavos Wisniewski. It's a nice Polish man. Former astronaut Peggy Whitson, who I think is the commander. ISRO, Indian Space Research Organisation astronaut Shubhansu Shukla, and Tibor Kapu, one of the easier ones, Tibor Kapu, who is Hungarian. And that's your crew.
Right, so there's quite an international feel to this one, so fair play.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. People from all over. I think
they're going to have...
Whitson's American.
And has anybody told them they might not be coming back for 18 months?
Yeah, I think
no, that's Boeing.
I think somebody's had that conversation with them.
Well, no, I mean, it could be anybody, but it was Boeing, but yes. Right.
Yeah. So it's gone up in a Falcon 9 rocket with a Dragon spacecraft.
Right, and I'm trying to work out, are they doing anything special up there? Are they special missions? But no, they're just doing more of the same. You know, it's amazing when stuff at the ISS just becomes mundane. What they're doing? Oh, they're just doing the usual stuff, you know?
Yeah, they're just growing dinner in space.
Yeah. Working out whether you can kill Basil in space as quickly as you can kill it in your windowsill. Right, so this was the one you were talking about.
Yes, this is the Vera C. Rubin Observatory. Most powerful digital home to the world's most powerful digital camera.
Don't point it at the Antarctic, as recommended by Valkarius.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, that's one of the first image from it, which is amazing looking.
It is. It's sort of muddy looking, but it, you know. Yeah.
With the pink bits in the middle, and then there's a nice blue bit with a pink bit in the middle of that for the route. Right. Yeah. And blue, there's a big blue star in it.
I can see the blue bit. There's not purple. Yeah.
I was gonna say you're describing all these colours.
Sorry, the blue bit's next to the orange bit.
Shall I buy some of those glasses that sort of helps with my colour blindness?
Very possibly, yes.
You know, I've seen videos of people being absolutely shocked because they suddenly seeing all the colours.
Shall I get some and then turn up at ECM not having ever put them on, and then you guys make me wear them at ECM?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then that's when you find out they don't work for you.
And we'll show you lots of grey images without telling you.
You bastards. You bastards.
I don't think you need to worry about the grey images. There'll be people in grey clothes all around you as well.
Hang on a sec. We had a message from Noddy Spice saying Axiom 4 launched yesterday morning. What?
Oh, it went yesterday morning.
What?
Excellent. Yeah. They've gone.
Oh, they've gone.
If you do get those glasses and wear them for the first time at ECM, could someone please video it?
Oh, yeah.
I might have to do that, you know.
Just see them looking at colours and going, ugh.
Okay,
I'm
so...
not going to actually be there, so I'd really like to see that.
Yes.
You are? You're going to be there remotely, especially, yes. You're going to have your own screen.
My own screen?
So,
yeah.
If you...
the actual mission for Vera Rubin, though, is not to take pretty pictures of nebulae.
No.
That would be quite to take pictures of basically the entire sky every 2 or 3 nights.
Yes, it's the whole sky it's doing. And they reckon it might also find the 9th planet, if there is one.
It's going to find absolutely freaking everything.
Yes, yeah. I think that the point is it'll gather all the data, but then somebody's got to sit and look through all that data.
It's a 10-year mission. Over 10 years worth of photographs of the night sky. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be, what it's also going to be good for is near-Earth objects. So, you know that asteroid we've been asking about, if there's anything more like that, hopefully it won't just spring up out of nowhere. It'll be one of those things where they'll go, yeah, Vera C. Rubin saw that coming years ago. So we've known we're all going to die. And then they can stick a metal-powered thruster on it and blast it away into distance.
Do you think that lens will fit on my Canon? A 3200
tripod,
3200 megapixel camera.
Yes, it is. It gives you an idea what size the picture would be as well.
Yeah,
where is it? It says it somewhere.
You still know that some motorsport photographer with far too much money is going to stand at the side of the Formula One with one of those attached to his camera or hers.
Yes.
Yeah. And take a picture of one nostril hair of somebody driving past at full speed.
My goodness, that is a really big lens.
It should tell you around about there. It should also tell you, 67 times more powerful more than an iPhone. 16 Pro camera. Yeah, everybody's got more than
67. Was that 67 more times more powerful than an iPhone, or 67 million times more powerful?
I don't know. I think 3,200 megapixels. It's saying, so 67 would probably do it. You would need 400 Ultra HD TV screens to show a single image.
My word.
Yeah.
That's quite
enormous.
special.
Yeah. So that would,
It's those like gigapixel images where you put it on your screen, you can sort of zoom and pan and zoom. A bit like in Blade Runner, enhance, zoom. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive stuff.
But yeah, because it's taking so many pictures of everywhere so frequently, it's basically looking for anything that changes or moves.
Yeah.
Asteroids, fantastic. Planet 9, Planet X, whatever you want to call it, brilliant. But things like supernovas is going to detect as well because it's got so many for reference.
Yeah.
They estimate that within the first 3 years of its mission, we'll go from knowing about approximately 1,000 Type 1a supernovas total in the universe, and that's universe, not galaxy, to more like 1 to 10 million.
We were talking about the quantity of them, being quite low in an article about 2.5 months ago, weren't we? The observable ones were a bit crap.
Yeah, we're overdue some in our galaxy,
Yeah.
but this will be looking at them in all relatively local
And
galaxies.
that's the other point, observable. What we can observe is going to get a lot better.
Can I ask? I mean, there's a really sort of simple question here. Is that when you go video to the ISS, that kind of thing, there's a picture quality issue and there's a bandwidth issue. Now, if it's taking a 3200 megapixel image, what's the file size on that? RAW.
Huge.
Quite big.
And they've got to get that back down again, and they've got to get a lot of them regularly
No, this is ground based. This is ground based.
Oh, this is ground. Is it ground based?
It's generating.
It's in Chile. It's up the top.
I think it's in the hundreds of terabytes of data per day. It's something stupid like that.
Wow.
They're having to put the processing on site to do a lot of it to generate the filtered stream of millions of responses per day that go out over RSS and similar technologies to everybody that's actually subscribed to particular types of object of interest that are being possibly spotted by the AI image
I
processing.
mean, that's they must have a really big cable to this thing. It's not going to work over your Wi-Fi. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, it's not on the Wi-Fi. No.
Yeah.
No.
Not even over Wi-Fi 7.
Yeah, I mean, it might be dial-up.
Beep.
That's a
Right. Okay. What's the next one then? It's Honda.
I knew it later. That's it. Connected.
we haven't seen anything from
know this
Honda
one.
for a while because we saw this really cool adverts about the Dream, the Impossible Dream, all sorts of stuff. We haven't seen anything from Honda for a bit. So what are Honda up to?
They're building the latest in Honda Civics.
Yes. Is it going to have those wee rocket-shaped door handles?
Completely out of the blue, Honda have successfully launched and landed a reusable rocket.
With little winglets for catching it on a platform with chopsticks, it looks like to me.
Yeah, well done, Honda.
But yeah, they've gone from cars to being the next player in the reusable rocket market.
It's not a very big rocket. I mean, the thing is, you look at this first picture, and that could be, a 100-meter long rocket and whatever else. And then you pan down, and you look at the next image, and you realise it's about 2.5 Flossies tall.
No, that's 3.5 Flossies.
Is it 3.5 Flossies?
Or 6 apology officers.
Yeah. But
Don't start on how wide.
I mean, A, you could scale that up, and B, that's probably perfectly adequate for launching like CubeSats and things.
Oh yeah, for small CubeSats and swarm
it's just
satellites.
The fact it went up and came down and worked, and I mean,
Yeah, it went up, came down, and they've still got it.
So all the software works and the fundamentals work. You just need to scale it up now. I mean, that's the
probably.
And unlike Raptors, the rocket engines don't explode when you light them.
Yeah, and you can use a little transit to deliver it.
Yes.
Okay, and then
You wouldn't use a transit, you'd use a Honda van. Come on.
Okay, maybe. So this next one is 2024-YR4. Volcarius, you know about 2024-YR4. I remember talking about these.
You might have to give me a reminder.
Well,
the asteroid
you
that was
did a whole
spotted
article
on Christmas Eve. That was a 3.2% chance of hitting the Earth at one point, and now it's down to 0.00003% chance of hitting the
there's
Earth.
still a chance of hitting the moon, though, isn't there?
That's up to over 4%, and that's what this article's about.
Fuck.
Right. So this one might not hit us, but it might hit the moon. But then the moon will eject stuff, and then we've got problems because there's ejector from the moon.
It's probably
Staggering
still
amounts of ejector from the moon, around 10% of which will end up in low Earth orbit, and will take out quite a lot of our satellites.
Cool.
As well as giving us probably the best ever meteor shower.
Yeah.
I mean, day of the Triffids level meteor shower.
And the sunsets.
If
Oh,
it
yes.
hits the moon, will that affect the tides and stuff on Earth?
It's not that
No.
big. I mean, it's like knocking bits off the moon, but not
Yeah.
like a
Will
quarter
it
of the
affect
moon.
its orbit at all?
No.
In the same way as your garden gets bigger if you put a shovel full of gravel in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it's a minuscule effect on the moon apart from making an awful lot of little bits flying.
What I would say is it's probably still better than it hitting the Earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the things about the moon being a protective thing for us, that it batches into everything so it doesn't hit us.
Yeah.
So I looked back through the Space Facts article on DFA. Was it a 100-meter asteroid? This one, approximately.
Yeah, I think it's 90 something,
Yeah.
or 90 to 130.
Yeah, I didn't comment about this specific one, although I did say that they occur once every approximately 10,000 years.
6.5 tons of TNT.
Although I do remember there was a previous space news where it was some company in the state of Florida wanted to put a data center on the moon.
Yes.
Because it's cool.
So the moon could still hit that. Sorry, the asteroid could still hit that then. So.
You can't put it on the moon. The moon is a preserved historical location, okay? We've determined that earlier in the articles.
Stanley Kubrick's buried up there.
Right. Well, is that it for our space news for this week?
I think that's it for space news for this
Woohoo!
week.
When you don't know where to get more space news, 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 space news.
Do we have a word of the week?
We do have a word of the week, and word of the week this week is persiflage.
Persiflage.
Persiflage. Yeah.
Persiflage.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means light and slightly contemptuous mockery or banter.
And can you use it in a sentence, please?
Oh, yes. The apology officer expects a bit of persiflage whenever they do word of the week. Because there are not. I originally wrote this for Mike Rochford's reads, as you can tell. So that's word of the week.
That self-deprecating humour is one of the best kinds of humour.
Yeah. I think this isn't necessarily self-deprecating humour.
It was in this case.
It can also, it wasn't in this case, but it can also be just deprecating humour.
Defecated humour.
Defecated humour, yes.
It's headline doodad Twitch thing.
Yes, it's going across your screen now. Awesome.
Yeah, persiflage.
Right.
Persiflage.
I mean, with the Panther Clipper having been in the show as well.
You don't have to whisper anymore, they know now.
Yes, contemptuous mockery. So are we doing the thing, Valkyrius, or we've got, what are we? We're 12 minutes to the 10.
Yeah. Well,
do you want to go?
Ask, do you want it to be facts time or do you want it to be quiz time?
Well, should we take a vote? Facts or quiz, Amelia?
Quiz.
Apology officer, facts or quiz?
Oh, facts.
Facts. Flossy, facts or quiz?
Quiz.
Quiz. Lithobreaker, facts or quiz?
Quiz.
Right, well, in that case,
Quiz it is, in that case. I don't even need a deciding vote. Right. Yep.
Yeah. This one's in. Well, you'll see.
Okay. So, are you, for the benefit of those who have not listened before to the quiz, are you going to give them a short intro?
Yes. And are you able to name your presenter connection?
Do you want to ping me what I should name it, or is it going to be the same as it was before?
The same as it was before, and I did ping you a few things. But
I'm just trying to log into it. Where is the quiz? I've completely lost. No, I've lost where I set up the quiz. Where did I set up the quiz? Space news, that one, Banter 2. Is it in here? Oh, there it is. I found it. I've changed the screen. Welcome. Choose a name or remain a nonny mouse.
I need somebody else to put that. There we go. I was going to say, Litho got the link into the chat.
Right. Yes. Somebody put it in there. Trouble is, I've got to put it live. Okay, so what was the previous name? I can't remember.
It was
Ping
just
me.
the studio. It'll be fine.
No, shh.
No.
Don't tell them. I can't type it in on the screen. Something's gone wrong. It's because it's not live. Here we go. You didn't see that, anybody? There we go. I've put studio in. Right.
Yep.
For the benefit of anybody joining us for the quiz testing system that we're doing, we're about to do a quiz, which means you need to go to the link that we've just put in chat, which is...
it is quiz.iniv.space.
quiz.iniv.space.
Yep. Yes. There are a few. So this is a new bit of software on the server end. I can flip back to the previous one, which does support the new features as well, if needed. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so, I've got the presenter view, and let me just get my private so I can answer it as well. Hang on a second. Quiz.iniv.space. Let me put that one in.
In the meantime, welcome to another quiz special, sponsored and brought to you this week by the number 3. It's the number to which thou shalt count, the number of the counting, and the number of attempts Little Grey needs when trying to pronounce the word phenomenon. Assuming the new version of the quiz system only isn't broken because it doesn't have enough features yet, you can join in live by opening a new browser window or mobile device and navigating to quiz.iniv.space, where the questions this week are organised into rounds of 3 for each general theme. This is for no other reason than being able to run it with less persiflage and more questions, but rest assured we'll make up for it during the grading segments in between. Correct answers score 3 points, although we still award 1 to 2 for broad answers, close guesses, and technically correct pedantry. So even if you don't know it, go ahead and take a punt anyway. And remember, under Pilots Federation law, naughty answers don't score points and can only be shown once. They do give Studio 5 a good laugh later though, so don't let that dissuade you necessarily. And again, you can join in at any time at quiz.iniv.space. Now I need to click the thing.
I'm clicking.
No, me.
Oh, you. Okay, sorry. Round 1.
Yes, as I said, it's in rounds. Round 1.
I've resembled that description.
It's a relatively easy number questions to get started.
1.
How many outposts are in the Alpha Centauri system?
Only one that matters.
Whoa. It only gives you a number choice, you see. You can't free type in this one.
I like the multi-choice question.
Is it
Less
A,
thinking involved.
just Hutton Orbital, or B, more than just Hutton Orbital? And if so, how many more? Okay, countdown.
Outposts, is that space stations or
outposts?
Planets
Not the big ones. The outposts meaning things like Hutton.
Right, but aren't outposts what they call the things on the planets as well?
No, those are settlements.
I'll clarify.
Right, yeah.
Orbital outposts. Also 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next.
Yay! Has somebody got the boom ready for us for the next one? Next one.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Wait, the button's not doing it.
It's. Oh, we've broken it already.
Have we found a bug?
I'm seeing next question on the... Oh.
Next question. How many petals are on a Thargoid interceptor?
None. They're not actually flowers.
Good luck finding that answer amongst the multiple choice.
I was going to say, don't they still have petals?
Petal? Who's Petal? I mean, there's an obvious
probably
answer.
Guessing wrong here.
No, there's an obvious answer. So, whoops! Oh, I've hit the wrong answer. How do I edit my answer?
I don't find
Okay, my answer was that's after I've shot some. There we go. So it's edit. Oh, I've got the edit button. I can change it. Look at that.
Time's up.
Yep. Do. Boom.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Boom.
How many weapon hardpoints are on a Type 9 Heavy?
Oh, crikey. I should know this.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
What?
Wait,
no,
no, you have more
what?
time
No.
than that.
It's what? It's some. It's Oh crikey!
I think I've done the
I'm
wrong
counting. I'm
answer. Hold on.
counting.
I'm changing my answer. I can't remember. I don't use them all.
Don't use any.
I've got it wrong. I've clicked the wrong thing again. It's those ones around the. I was thinking type 10. You know.
Oh, that's going to be a problem if pressing result doesn't bloody work.
Have you broken it?
The button which goes to the results page isn't doing that.
Okay, well, you might just have to verbally. Well, this is a test system. That's exactly why we're doing it. This is Hutton.
I wonder if I can think of a real quick workaround for that. I think I might be able to. Let's see if I can do.
Seamless.
Or should we go to? Should we go to?
Intermission.
Please stand by. Volcarius is coding.
I can do them one at a time, apparently.
So
if I take the question out of the rounding system, apparently I can do one at a time.
Let's see. There's only one that matters.
there are two. There's Aldin and there's Alpha. There's Hutton Orbital. Right. Next one. It's a Thargoid.
right.
There are 8. For goodness sake. Yes. And next one.
Hang on, I have to reopen and close it again.
How many weapon hard points?
5.
Yeah, 5. There we go. Well done to the 14% of you that got that one right. And that was our 3.
Yeah, that was your round. That was your round of 3. Round 2 is all about. Hang on, let me load the round. Actually, that would help.
How is this brought to you by the number 3, where the answer was not 3 to anything?
You'll see. Round 2 is all about ship weapons. Each of these questions also has 3 equally correct answers. So if you know 2 or more of them, just choose one and answer with that. Question 1: what ship weapon has a 3-shot trigger?
3-shot trigger.
That's one press of the trigger to get 3 identifiable shots in sequence.
I don't even understand the question, sorry.
Well, when you hold the button down, yes.
It goes pew 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 literally 3 times when you press the button once.
I know nothing about weapons.
Yes. The frying pan, Flossy. Put the frying pan in. Okay, I've got something in. Do we do a countdown?
Detonation in 10 seconds.
I can tell you now, it's not the railgun. Boom!
Which ship weapon has a 3-round reload?
Oh,
I don't use weapons.
A 3-round reload. Okay. What's that going to be? Random answer. There we go. I've done that one.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
What non-experimental weapon has maximum class 3?
Non-experimental weapon with a max class 3. Okay, I'm guessing.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Yes, that's it.
And that's the end of round 2. Experimental round 2. Yep.
Yeah, I kind of need to do the thing again.
Do the thing. Dun, 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 ba, ba, da, ba.
Right. The weapons that have a 3-shot trigger are burst lasers, the Imperial Hammer, and the Concorde Cannon.
Woohoo! I got one right.
I did like pew 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 though. That was a funny answer.
That does have 3 pew pew pew. Yeah, that's. I think a bonus point for that one.
Oh, you want a point for that?
Pew 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 goes. It's 3 shots. Pew pew pew. Yeah.
There we go. It now has a bonus point.
Hey, whoever did that, well done. And the next one. Dun, 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 dun. Let's play the music.
I have to change the question number to do it. So. The ship weapon with a 3-round reload are the Fragment Cannon, the Imperial Hammer, and the Class 2 mine. Wait, is that the right question?
3-round reload.
Class 2 mine
yes.
launcher. Yeah, that was right. So anyway, well, mines would have been correct. So I'd have taken mines, but yeah, I'm mainly thinking of the Fragment Cannon or the Pacifier Fragment Cannon also.
Well done, whoever got that one.
I didn't quite finish the grading for the last one. Give me like a minute.
Okay, hang on a second. Music back up. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Rhubarb.
And our third one says...
The non-experimental weapon with max class 3 is fragment cannons, missile launchers, or torpedo pylons.
Mines.
No, they're max class 2. It turns out that
Mug launcher.
Yes, I like that one. In fact, you want a point for that.
Mug launcher, yes.
Yes.
Mug!
There we go. Yeah. So we'll do. I could go. Well, we'll do one more. Do you want one more round of 3?
Go on then. Super quick.
Yeah.
Get the scores at the end. Scores on the doors. The bird from above. The dove from above. That's the one. Yes.
This is subtitled "No Journey Too Long," and it's all about distance in light years. How far from Alpha Centauri is Hutton Orbital?
Right, I haven't got the video. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong screen. In light years. Yep, and I've got the right answer.
Which right answer?
No, there's only one at the moment. If you're in game at the moment,
you do have a plus or minus 10% on this one. So.
Oh, poop! I'm still right though.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
In light years, how far can a fleet carrier jump?
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Is that an unladen fleet carrier?
It doesn't matter.
Carrying it under
African or European?
In light years, how far from Colonia is the galactic core?
Ooh, is there a plus? Well, I mean, I know the approximate. Is it? You've got the 10%.
I thought that you have 20% on this one. I thought I'd be fair and give you at least a little picture.
Has he got the number written on the picture? I haven't got my glasses on. I've been doing the whole show with no glasses on. This is. I can see. I'm in 4K. Right. Okay. I've got it. Yep. Can't believe there's not an answer of lots.
It's freeform text. You can type what you
That's
like.
what I put.
Yay!
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Too far. No one goes there anymore. Because we can't colonise from there. Grading the answers. Here we go. Music again.
The distance from Alpha Centauri to Hutton Orbital is 0.22 light years.
0.21.
It can be 0.21, 0.215.
It was
depending on various
0.22
things.
10 years ago.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
It definitely
yes.
feels like 1.1.
As I recall, this is your words, not mine. The mugs. It was printed 0.22 on the mugs, and it's too late to change those. So
Absolutely. It's 0.22 when you've done your loop of shame, so that's fine. And the next one. Here we go. Do.
In light years, a fleet carrier can jump 500.
And yes, we do have the obligatory 80085.
Yes, we do.
Well done,
Yeah, it was
Commander
deployed.
Deadmeat GF. And finally,
I figured, it's going to come up some point.
And
I
finally,
misread the question. Oh, classic fail.
Yeah, it was. This was a bit of a punt question, but I thought the picture might help, and indeed, it's just over 10,000 from Colonia to the galactic core.
Quite a way.
And it is going to be a bit of a long show, regardless. So I think we'll call the scoreboard there.
And the scoreboard is everybody
should be that button.
Oh, look at that.
With 21, it's Noddy Spice.
Oh, class. I got no points.
Congratulations, Noddy Spice. Well done.
Oh, I totally didn't approve Lenin's name. There we go. Sorry, Lenin.
Lenin didn't get 0. There we go. Well done, Lenin.
Yeah, obviously I have to approve the names manually, and I did it at the start and forgot to. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, it mostly worked, the latest test of the quiz system.
So, the button. So I made a new button, and it was supposed to make it quicker to go from round to round, question to question. But in practice, I had to go back to the list and load each one manually. So that needs fixing. But
continuous improvement.
Yes. Apart from that, the hope is that here it was a 3-round system, but in practice, you can imagine that going on for, assuming the button works, 10
at
ECM
ECM.
round, and then at ECM. That's right.
Right.
So, well done, all.
Congratulations, everybody! Thank you very much, Commander Valkyrios, for doing the quiz. Flossy.
Yes.
Are you ready?
Just about, yes.
Is it a big one? The Momus Bog Spaniels are off again.
No, not too big.
Not too big. Okay, in which case, here we go.
Who is this superhero? Chicks? Nope. Mia, the apology officer?
No way, man.
Helen, the mild-mannered CG publisher?
Could be. Hutton Flossy, #1 super gal, oh yeah. Hutton Flossy, Alvin's CG pal. She's got style, a unique style, and a swing that just goes clang. When the forum gets rough, she's super tough with a Hutton Flossy pan.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG news. The last 2 weeks' CGs. Imperial campaign targets Archon Delane in Beta 3 Tucani. Finished about 3/4 the way between Tiers 6 and 7. Nearly 718 billion credits were earned by over 13,000 contributors. Delane targets Imperial forces in Beta 3 Tucani, just about finished at Tier 4. Over 101 billion credits earned by over 2,000 contributors. Anyone who submitted at least one combat bond to either side will have received one each of 2B and 3A Seeker missile racks, pre-engineered with high capacity and sturdy modifications, plus FSD interrupt. Plus, anyone in top 75% or higher will have received 2 more missile racks. Details on the module of 2B3A missile racks with mass plus 120%, integrity plus 100%, power draw plus 30%, damage minus 5.5%, thermal load minus 10%, armor piercing plus 40%, rate of fire minus 26%, ammo clip size plus 100%, ammo maximum plus 100%, and the FSD interrupt experimental is included. As the Imperial campaign was victorious, all those who were specifically pledged to Emperor Lavini Duval will also receive 40,000 merits and the Emperor Arissa Lavini Duval Powerplay Banner Cockpit customization. There are no new CGs this week, so that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
And now, following that, we have Amelia with something very, very rare and probably extremely distinguished and dignified.
You are about to listen to Amelia Hawke. She tries all the galaxy's most dangerous rare items, so you don't have to.
I found it in a dusty old edition of Frontier Elite Gadgeteer, wedged behind a row of emergency ration packs labelled "Not to be used unless things go really pear-shaped." A handwritten note marked the page, "Griffith, don't trust the fauna." The word fauna is crossed out and flora was clearly written in its place. Then also crossed out and the word Planimal written in. The entry described the system's first visitor, one Augustus Brenquith, an eccentric earthborn explorer with a fondness for long-distance solitude and poetic overstatement. He left just after the Third Algae War and never looked back, broadcasting a series of increasingly erratic message capsules filled with descriptions of new worlds and vague botanical confessions. Griffith, he claimed, had no large animal life, only peculiar plants and insects. The system is now notionally independent, though visibly propped up by Imperial aid packages and roving consultants. The Federation's early interest ended abruptly after an ill-fated expedition when a senior exobotanist attempted to coax a snare hog into cooperation using a clarinet. The footage was quietly buried, and so was the clarinet. Today, Griffith is infamous for its chaotic biology, a planet where all known indigenous life forms fall into the category of Planimals, organisms exhibiting both plant and animal characteristics. They photosynthesize by day and hunt by night. They root themselves seasonally, yet migrate when bored, and have confounded biologists by blooming, barking, and reproducing via rhythmic duet. It is a thriving, taxonomically uncooperative ecosystem of semi-sentient sound-producing life forms. Some generate unique tones, others mimic whatever they hear. A select few do nothing at all until startled, and then amplify noises. All are illegal to export without the right license, impossible to fully classify, and highly prized on the prog rock black market. The rare in question is not a product, but a pursuit. The hunting and illicit capture of symphonic fauna. These live, breathing, photosynthesizing creatures form the core of Quothith's sonic ecology. Key species include the echidnuphonium, a spiny, slow-moving globule whose internal air sacs vibrate to produce deep, mournful tones somewhat resembling a tuba, the snare hog, which barks percussively when disturbed, the wind-reactive cactiflute, and the crash dandelion, which produces a startling cymbal crash when it explosively seeds, and the tree-dwelling hippie theraminky. It has very big hips. Most die in captivity, but some become depressed and mimic nothing but the sound of their own shipping crate. But for those who can afford the risk, the reward is immense. Live captured Planimals have defined entire underground musical movements, most infamously shrub step. The trade is strictly outlawed following the Dolivera incident, in which a collective of Holloway orbital-based DJs smuggled an entire symphonic soundscape out of the Quothith Delta and debuted it, unprocessed, in a club environment. The track, titled Shrub Step Volume 4, was an overnight one-hit wonder, mainly as someone forgot to water all the Planimals and they wilted and fell silent after the concert. The Delta region has been off limits since. Which is naturally where I am. We arrived by glider, the landing gentle, as I've been advised by a local guide to keep the noise down. As ever, I'm joined by Steve, whose qualifications remain vague and though probably include no sense of self-preservation and cheaply cloned. And of course, Mooncake, who perches on a coil of guide rope, her tail twitching. Officially, we're here under the employ of a prog rock producer from George Pantazis, who believes that one particular species of echidnuphonium emits a perfect drop in 7/8 time. His last album was described as ambitiously unlistenable, and he claims this one will cleanse the genre with tremors from the swamp. After a tip-off from one of the guides, we've been told we can find a few of them near a herd of hippopota tulips at a nearby river delta. A short walk from where we've been dropped brings us to a small inlet under some very large, gently rustling trees. Our guide whispers to me that these hippos are part of the amplification branch of the evolutionary tree. They don't actually make sounds themselves, but anything they hear, they make louder. I mean, like, much louder. Which, of course, suits the echidnuphonia, as it warns them of approaching predators and it enables them to waddle off, making little parping noises to wherever it is that they hide. So, we're approaching very carefully. I know, Mooncake, very carefully. I've tucked the comms mic into my collar. Steve is trying to breathe, not to breathe too loudly. Hang on one sec. Mooncake, shut up. Steve, you're breathing too loudly. Shh. Okay, Mooncake is walking like she's stalking a ghost now. The inlet's just ahead, and I can see the first of the hippopota tulips floating under the trees. Shh. Mooncake, we better be quiet. Huge petaled heads. Drifting just above the waterline, pulsing slightly in time with the breeze. No sign of the echidnuphoniums. Oh, God, echidnuphonia? Yet. Mooncake is meowing. Nearby triangulo dandelion. It responds with a soft ting. It looks as though they're sharing a moment. Okay. Okay, good kitty. Shh. Okay, leave it alone. Okay, that's sweet. It's making a little mournful noise as she leaves. We're crouched behind a low ridge now, just a few meters from the herd. Still, no creatures that look like they do dubstep before breakfast. Steve, did you get a description of what they look like? No. Don't talk. Just nod. Right, you're shaking your head. That's great. We don't know what they look like. Maybe they're near the hippos? The palms nearby have started to pre-storm whisper chorus. I can see some dark-looking clouds over the horizon, so we might need to hurry. Low syncopated rustles that build with the rising humidity. What's that, Steve? It seems calm enough. Oh, and then he does it. A tiny shift of weight, a low rumble, a sound that absolutely should not echo in the Delta. Dude, that's rank! What the hell did you eat for breakfast? Oh, one of the hippopotamuses is startled. Okay, alright, that's another. Okay, that's all of them. The air is thickening with noise. Horrid, nasty noise. Of all the noises, Steve. Now the snare hogs have joined in, each bark like a punch to the gut. The crash dandelions react explosively, flinging their symbol-like seeds in every direction. Steve just yelped, stumbled backwards, and okay, he's fallen directly into the water. Oh, great. Hippopotamuses heard him, and they've opened their petals rather alarmingly wide. Okay, it swallowed him whole. No, you overgrown pansy, spit him out. That's weird. It's just shouted, spit him out, back at me. And the petals are even trying to copy my expression. Hang on. Oh, I've got an idea. That should do it. Okay, the Planimal is considering me. Obligingly, it's just copied. Okay, all right. Okay, rather exaggerated. The sound loudly. Violently. Okay, Steve's just been projectile vomited, ejected in a wet arc, and he's just landed with a plop. Okay, the creature on the bank has just echoed the plop, and there's another. The whole herd has taken it up in sequence, a sort of rippling series of plopping sounds, like someone's playing with a kilometer of bubble wrap. Oh, wow. Okay, one particularly large hippopotamus just amplified the final pop into a noise so deep and resonant, it's vibrated my fillings. The last time I heard something like that was after I misjudged a high G landing. Look, Steve, you're fine. Look where you landed. Perched at the edge of the clearing on a mossy rise, it looks as though there's a single echidnophonium parping away to itself in 7/8 time like a bass break in a swamp. This is DJ Amelia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest, and I've got a great idea for a mixtape. I hope you got all of that on recorded.
Yes, meow. Lots of meow. Yes, but if you were to go and look up Griffith,
it wasn't just that she was. It wasn't just that she was meowing. She was right in my face, meow.
And playing with the triangular. What was it? A triangular triangodandelion. Yes.
Triangodandelion.
She was just reading the script and joining in when she was meant to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you were to look up Griffith on the Galnet and the Gal Internet, I mean, it says that they do have whispering plants there. But they don't realise this was written a long time ago. They're not just whispering. I mean, some of them are echoing, some of them are amplifying. This is basically a whole planet DJ set. They'll copy you, they'll remix you, they'll amplify you. I mean, Little Grey wishes he was here. Because that's his bag.
Is it his bag?
Yeah, he's the guy with the mixer desks at ECM, and he's got all the technology.
Yeah, but he does music as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Hutton Mayhem Band was on stage at some point. But yes, I mean, the Quiffy Whispering Plant was a thing, but obviously you found the, what was it, the euphonium, the little pamper that does dubstep.
Yeah, the
echidnophonium. Yeah, the prickly bugger. But, I mean, it prized by DJs throughout the galaxy, a whole planet full of planimals, not plants, planimals.
Yeah, planimals, yeah.
Yeah, that any aspiring DJ can use to make symphonies. Meow, yes, well done, Mooncake. Leave the triangle alone, okay? It doesn't want to play. It's tiny and it goes ding. It's, right.
She's not usually quite this active.
Well, she's playing. She's playing with the triangle. Yes, the triangle daffodils or whatever they are.
She really likes it.
She does. Well, it keeps going ding forlornly back at her. Well, look, thank you very much. I mean, it's not a very dangerous one, apart from being swallowed by a hippo.
Well, I think he was fine.
Mostly
fine. Yes, Mooncake agrees with me. He was fine.
Yes. Yeah, well, anyway, so if you want to find out a bit more about this place, if you go to the original gazetteer that came with, what was it, Frontier Elite 2? Which is, I think, what you found, the dusty relic you found at the start. You can look up some of these places and things as well. They've been forgotten to time. You can't buy them anywhere on the galactic market, but if you're a DJ and you want plants, planimals that make music or help you make music, then this is the place to be.
Yes, definitely.
Well, and thanks, Steve, if he's feeling okay still.
Oh, he's fine.
Is he?
He'll bounce right back.
Well, one of him is.
off the bank of the river or whatever, yes. But anyway, well, thank you very much. Now is the point in the show where we get to sort of say goodbye and do the thing. Quick reminder about ECM. Flossy?
Yes?
Are you there? When is ECM?
16th of August.
And where is ECM?
Where is that that place you get sent to? Coventry.
That's the one. And Volcarius, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. So we've done the where and the where and the when. What about the what of ECM?
Well, I could read it off the website. It's a non-commercial event run by us, the community, to have a place to get together and share company, gaming, a bite to eat, and a drink with fellow gamers.
And magically at the end of it, something marvellous happens for charity.
A donation happens for charity, and usually two charities. Is it still Special Effect and Hearing Dogs?
It certainly is Special Effect and Hearing Dogs UK, yes. And somehow, yeah, magically at the end of us partying hard, stuff ends up in the charity tin. Which is awesome. £5,030 last time. Yeah, just turn up, chuck your money in the tin, join in, kick back, have fun, get an autograph from Flossy. Are you autographing people this year, Flossy?
If you want.
Yeah, and Commander Wotherspoon and many, many others who was not here this evening, but that's because he's dead busy looking at his shiny new Panther Clipper. Other than that, it's time for the end of the show, which means we're off to raid somebody. So what we need to do is go over...
I just want to say, we literally just got raided.
Did we? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, hello, people who've just raided us. And congratulations on raiding Hutton Orbital just as we're finishing. We're really, really sorry, but we're about to scarper now and go raid somebody else. You've missed the news. You've missed the CGs. You've missed the space news. You
missed the show.
You've missed the show and the Galnet Rares Digest where Amelia went to play with musical Planimals.
They even missed Word of the Week.
What was the word of the week?
Still scrolling across the screen.
It is going across the screen. Well, it was until it disappeared. But yes, word of the week was contemptuous something, wasn't it? Persiflage.
That was it.
Yes. Light and slightly contemptuous, possibly. Mockery. Not Colin Mockery, though. Okay, so we're off to go and raid somebody now who needs a bit of raid from Hutton Orbital Truckers. The usual rules apply. We're going to play the credits. You're going to read the credits. You're going to go and bake all the stuff that Amelia tells you to bake in the credits. And then we're going to go say for the mug to somebody who needs a bit of an audience. So who have we got?
Just for a record, the Hutton cookie recipe is a killer cookie recipe.
Oh yes, it's good. You can even make it gluten-free.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Very simple.
Unlike my son, who tried to poison me this evening by making me a lovely, lovely dinner, which I couldn't eat. Otherwise, I'd have died. There'd have been pain during the show, followed by, I've got to go.
But, like Steve, it's very simple.
Sometimes it's worth it. Donuts. Right, so we are going to go and raid. Who are we going to go and raid? Let's have any suggestions from the audience here. Is there anybody who's desperate for some Hutton truckers to turn up? Let's have a look. No, they've got plenty. And no, that other one there, they've got plenty. Stargoid looks like they're doing okay. What we got? We got Ferwina.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else going to one-up me on that one?
Sure.
So Ferwina's turned up in Colonia. So yes, watch the credits.
That's. Did you know that's 11,000 light years from the galactic core?
Oh, 22,000 from the bubble. Yes. So we're going to go and rate them.
If only I knew that earlier.
Oh, damn. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Joy. That was show number 495.
Also, I fixed the quiz buttons.
You have? Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, assuming we're not going to have any week offs.
Does this mean, if that was show 495, does that mean that the 500th show is going to be around ECM?
Well, only if we take a couple of weeks off, but yes.
Cool.
So we're getting close to our 500th show. We may just do like 497A, 497B, just so we can have fake 500 during ECM. But
yeah, it looks like every week it would place. It would be on August the 7th. Would be the 500th. So if you were to skip one, that would be make it at the 14th, and then ECM would be that weekend. But then you normally skip it on the ECM week anyway.
Yeah, so we would skip the 14th.
We just need to skip one.
So we need to skip one. So we may or may not apologise for skipping one. I might hand over the reins to somebody else and they can mess it up a little bit less than me. Okay. Anything else before we go? What are we
For the mug!
For the mug!
For the mug!
See you all next week. Maybe.
See you next week. Bye.
Journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the bug, yeah, you know just where I'm coming from. For the bug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the bug, yeah, you know just where I'm coming from. For the bug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger